Greetings everyone, Mark Allen here for Shed Talks, day 15 shelter in place here in Santa Cruz, California. We just got the announcement yesterday that it looks like another 30 days of social distancing recommendations by the government. So, where does that leave us? Where does that leave you? I hope you're feeling okay. You know, I'm just checking in. This is a time like nothing that any of us have had to deal with, obviously, ever before. And for me, I was thinking about it. How does this relate to some of the situations again that I found myself in racing? And I realized, when you have a race, like let's say you're doing Ironman and your legs are killing you, you're on the marathon, you don't think you can keep going, but you know where that finish line is. And you know that once you get there, if you can get there, your day is done. This is different. We don't know where the finish line is, and we don't even know what the finish line is going to look like. So where does that leave us? How do we keep going? I go back to that mantra that I put out in one of the earlier Shed Talks of focusing on the things that I can do. What can I do? And that I brought that also then back to how I dealt with things in racing. Sometimes the answer that I'm looking for, like how am I going to win this race? If it's not there, if I don't have the answer yet, what do I do? Just give up, stress about it, or do I keep going and just focus on what I can do right here and right now? And so that's what I've been practicing each and every day here now in the midst of this, is just asking myself, what can I do that's good and positive for me, for my life, for my family, for my friends like all of you out there. I go out and I exercise, or I stay indoors and I exercise, but I do something to move my body. That's good for my health. I've been trying to cook really good, clean food. That's good for my health. I've been going to bed way too late, but now, starting this week, day 15 of this adventure, I'm committed to getting to bed at an early hour, so then I wake up earlier and I have actually more of the day to do things that are very, very productive. What else can I do? I can connect with people, maybe not in the same place, but certainly virtually, on the phone, calling folks that I haven't talked to in a while. It's actually been a precious time to reconnect with a few people that are near and dear that I just have kind of not had enough communication with recently. So anyway, I hope you're able to kind of just break things down and say, okay, what can I do today? In 1989, when Dave Scott and I were racing side by side, the entire day at the Ironman, I wanted to know how can this race be won? When will the break happen? And as many of you know, he and I raced together for over 8 hours side by side. The answer didn't come until mile 23 and a half of the marathon, mile 24 and a half of the marathon. That's a long time to go with an unknown to that answer. And kind of like we have here, maybe things are going to take a while before we have the true answer of how we're going to make it through it. But those answers will come. Back in that race, Dave and I, side by side, we were at the bottom of the last hill before, as you're climbing off of the Queen K to go back into town to go to the finish line. Both of us knew that was where the break was going to happen, where one of us was going to make a move. Dave, there was an aid station at the bottom of the hill. Many of you have heard this story. Dave reached to get a glass of a sport drink to get a little bit of gas back in the tank before that final push to try and break me. I came in right behind him ready to get a glass of something to drink to get gas in my tank so that I could hopefully break him. And something just yelled out in my brain, go. And I pulled my hand back. I started sprinting. I started to open up a gap. Dave looked back after that 3 or 4 second moment where he reached and got his glass of sport drink. That was the break that made the race. I pulled away. I ended up winning my first Ironman that year. I didn't have that answer until I was so close to the finish line. And so I try to use that now. I don't have the answer of how we'll make it through this, how I will make it through this. I don't know where the finish line is even. But each day I can do something positive for me, positive for you, positive for my family and friends. And when we do that, there's still going to be a sunrise, there's still going to be a sunset, there's still going to be beauty all around us. All we have to do is look, and we'll see it. Mark Allen for Shed Talks. Thanks for tuning in. Lots more to come.